Good morning. Oh, wait, afternoon. I knew that. It's Sunday, September 5th, and here I am again. Going to walk sort of along College Avenue, but kind of to either side of it. I don't want to go too far because normally I would have been out earlier this morning when it was cooler. In the sunshine, it's very warm at the moment, although when it's behind the clouds, it's pleasant enough. But it was an exciting morning. I got Shapers of Worlds Volume 2, the anthology I kickstarted, featuring authors who were guests during the second year of my Aurora award-winning podcast, The World Shapers. I got the page proofs done. I spent last night assembling everything in the order that I decided to run the stories and wrote my introduction and did the copyright page and all the bios and it's off to the authors for proofing. So it's exciting to get that back. That means I think I'm very close to putting it up for pre-orders on Amazon and elsewhere. So I'll definitely let you know about that. Right now I'm thinking commercial release will probably be first Tuesday in November, whatever that is. For some reason, books are always released on Tuesdays. I don't know if there's any real reason for that, but probably there isn't in my case. I should maybe think about doing it on the weekend. Maybe I will, but anyway, towards the beginning of November, it will be available for order. The Kickstarter version will go out to the backers, hopefully, well, better, in October. So this week, in fact, I will be getting a quote on that from the company that prints them and distributes them. At Amazon and elsewhere will be print on demand. So, yeah, very soon. And it's 540 pages, so exactly what I'm going to have to price the paperback and hardcover at, I don't know yet, but we'll see. I'm sure it'll be higher than last year's book. It's probably another third as long as last year's book. Ebook price won't change, and that's the most popular format anyway. So if you're wondering, no, I am currently walking away from College Avenue. That's because I want to go over here and walk along the backs of the buildings on College Avenue today, which means crossing up here, and maybe I'll go through the underpass since I didn't do that when I walked around the lake, see what the state of the murals is, see if they've added any more since the last time I went under there. There's also a rider game day. We sold our tickets again. Labor Day Classic with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, but we chose not to go. We're having my niece and her husband and their baby over tonight for dinner, so looking forward to that. So let's go see what the murals look like, if anything has changed. It should be dry by now. It was a bit muddy down there earlier, but it shouldn't be too bad right now. Although if it does look muddy, I might not go through. So again, this is all new. They did this summer to clean up and make more attractive this tunnel, which has been a graffiti magnet over the years. I don't think anything has changed. So I think this must be, there's kind of one spot that something else could go. Hi, Kirk in Vancouver. It's very nice, very much appreciated. Tidying up of that, and hopefully it'll keep the graffiti vandals away. So there's the lake, but we're not walking around it. We're going this way. Up to Speaker's Corner here with the lanterns that once stood in Hyde Park in London. Monument to free speech, a sadly under attack value these days. Sure, they used to be gas lanterns. Now they have, it looks like, LEDs underneath them. That's interesting. I mean, they were never gas lanterns here, I don't think. Well, I guess they could have been. I would have thought they'd put bulbs in them. Now they've got these LED lights underneath them. Interesting. Yep, that's where I just walked through, Speaker's Corner. IET. I'm going to walk down the south side of College, maybe along Broadway, or, well, maybe not on Broadway, but the one just north of Broadway, whatever that is. And maybe come back on 15th or something like that. Now, the big pile of dirt up here has been dug out where they're making the new swimming pool to replace the old Wascana pool. Looks pretty spiffy in the drawings. Water slide, all that kind of stuff. Right now, though, it's just a hole in the ground, and here's the ground that made the hole. I think the grass is going to need some work here after they're done. There's the Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there. Gazebo over there in the trees. Lots of grass. I was mowing grass this morning. I'd kind of thought I wouldn't have to do it again, but then we got all that rain, and it was quite lush for my yard, which is not very lush at the best of times, but all materials for the pool. Oh, hi.
I know.
Somebody I knew. I didn't recognize him until I got close. So we'll go down the back side of the new credit union building here. Well, the old one's gone, but the new one is coming. Over there. Supposed to be pretty spiffy. I've never swum in it myself. I can kind of swim, but I don't really enjoy it that much. Whenever I'm in a pool, I think, when can I get out and read or something? Loved it as a kid, but swimming, that is. Also reading. So there's the new credit union building. Wasn't sure what to make of it when they first started building it, but I quite like it now. I think with the glass and the colors actually work very well in the park here. So over there is where they're working on the pool. But we're going this way. Oh, look, there I am. Don't want to show too much of that. That'll kill my viewership. And here's the new lobby for Dark Hall. Connects the two buildings. This will be the new main entrance for Dark Hall, which should be getting quite close to being ready to host events again. Of course, this is the side of Dark Hall. Go back the way I came. This is the ramp to the new underground parking. There I am again. There's the pool again. They've done well, at least in the pictures, they've done a great job in the interior of Dark Hall. Comfortable seating, it's got a raked floor now so you can see better. Accessible, it was never accessible. And presumably new stage equipment. So it's going to be a prime venue for sure. Still a lot of work going on here. They're doing landscaping in between the two buildings, which will eventually have like an outdoor performance stage and things like that. Of course, this is the college building. The original, well, this is new. This wing was torn down and this is brand new. And the rest of it was completely refurbished. All this back here used to just be some caragana bushes and a gravel parking lot. So let's go up there. That's everything that's in it. Sorry about that. It looks like my battery died on my mic. I'm glad you caught it, so I hopefully didn't lose more than a few minutes there. Sound will be not as good now, but or possibly better. I don't know. So over here is St. Chad's, or what used to be St. Chad's. We're walking along here by now. There's condos over on this side. And various buildings that related to St. Chad's and the Anglican diocese. I believe that building is still the diocese office building. So you can sort of see the older ones from the newer ones. So here's St. Chad's. Also condos now, but they kept the exterior of the building, which is interesting. So my yeah, sure enough, battery's dead on the mic. Anyway, St. Chad's revitalization project. Now, some of these spaces in here clearly aren't going to be used for condos. So I don't know what they're doing with like the gym, exactly what's going on. I won't bother going down there because that won't take me anywhere. It's happened to me more than once with this. It just gives you no warning, and it should have been fully charged, but the charging mechanism is a little box you plug it into and it lights up. But that's all it tells you. So clearly it didn't charge. Yeah, can't go down that way. So I hope the sound is back. Trying to see what's been said here. Here in the shade, maybe. Good. Yeah. Oh, this is the diocese building. Okay, Capel House. There's the care home over there. And this building is actually the Anglican Diocese headquarters, I guess. I sung in there and visited people. And we're coming up to Balfour here. Balfour Region. I think I'll just go north a couple of blocks and walk back along 15th maybe. It's Balfour. I don't know what they're doing to it. It's been surrounded by fencing for a while. And yet there's nothing particularly visible being done in the front, so I assume it's work on the inside. But it's been fenced, I think, every time I've walked by it since I started doing these back in March. First high school I ever set foot in Regina. When I was in high school in Weyburn, we had a debate tournament here. I came up and competed and did very well, I might add. Check website for back to schools info. School should be back, or almost back. Maybe it's this week, after Labor Day, I guess. Or after Labor, no, Labor Day is Monday. So next week, I guess, I'll be back to school. That's the newer part down here where the gym is, the newer gym. Used to rehearse shows in there too because our stage manager taught there way back when. First show I ever did with Regina Lyric Musical Theatre was The Music Man. And that's where we had auditions and where we rehearsed. I remember rehearsing Hello Dolly there and The Merry Widow. It goes back a ways, so that'd be the late 80s, early 90s we used it. We didn't perform there, we just rehearsed there. I'm going to cross over in the crosswalk here because I can. That's Martin there. Martin? Martin. But I'll go on down to Winnipeg before I start heading home. Miller. Martin? Miller. Miller. You'd think I know. I think Martin was the girls' school. It doesn't exist anymore. Miller is this one. Now, when I wrote Shards of Excalibur, Balfour was Oscana Collegiate, and this was St. Dunstan. St. Dunstan had a Arthurian connection. That's why I chose him. So they're almost the real schools, but not quite. Oh, that's nice. I don't think that grew there naturally. Yes, Miller. I knew that. My daughter's first daycare was in there. But since she's now in her third year of university, that has been a while. Miller Comprehensive Catholic High School. Martin was the girls' school. It's long gone. This is Winnipeg, the street, not the city. I'd like to make that clear. Bold color choice there. The shorts are just a little loose, so, you know, keep pulling them up so I don't make a unintended spectacle of myself. This police car is probably looking for speeders. School zones are 30 kilometers an hour now. What's that? Oh yeah, I already answered that one. I'm going up Winnipeg here. Older neighborhood and fewer new developments, new houses along here for the most part. So more of the original houses. We'll go down 15th, which will take us by the south side of the Regina General Hospital. Squirrel. cross over, so we're closer to it when we get there. And no, it's not a one-way street. He just parked on the wrong side. We're doing some work on this one. There's one for sale. Now, my niece used to live, the one who's coming to dinner tonight, used to live in those condos there, but they now have a house not too far away, but not quite in this neighborhood. And there's a brew pub over here, handily on the other side, multinational, which makes good beer and has owls on the side of the building. Multinational. Beer here. Can recommend. The beer, the venue's nothing, but the beer is good. There used to be more businesses down this way. There's new condos up there. Hemp Haven. Two guesses as to what kind of stuff they sell. Here's a very old apartment building here. All of the streets along here are named after cities, so this is Toronto we're coming up to. There's a St. John and a Halifax, and of course Winnipeg. There's a new one. Big one too. Not much architecturally. Ones are more interesting than some of the newer ones. Here's the hospital. South side thereof. Patio down there, well shaded and sheltered. My daughter was born in there. I've been in there unfortunately a couple of times for other things. I think all babies in Regina are born in the general. I think it's the only one with a maternity ward. This side has lots of doctors' offices and stuff, so it's not really the one you go into usually if you're, you know, going into the hospital, but there's also very little parking on this side. Not enough on the other side, but there's very little on this side. There used to be a church there. It was torn down not that long ago. It's in my book, Story Walks of Regina Moose Jaw, but the building's gone. Several buildings from that book are now gone. Medical office wing entrance. and my mouth's getting dry. If I sound a little hoarse, should have brought some water. Should have. Didn't. Another old apartment building here on the right, coming up. And there's space for rent if you're looking. I can't swear as to what those apartments are like. Pretty sure there's not central air. Although, who knows? Avalon Court, it's called. I could have done something with that in Shards of Excalibur if I'd known about it. Since, of course, Avalon has a Arthurian connection as well. It's the island that Arthur was taken off to after he was mortally wounded. But he is supposed to return when England needs him most. And he hasn't come back yet, which makes you think things must going to get a whole lot worse, because at times they've been pretty bad and he still hasn't shown up. Just how bad did they have to get? Of course, I will go down the other side of the street because that's where I want to be eventually. All right, now we're at Broad. It's a relatively new condo building over there. I know it mainly because it has a bubble tea place in the basement, not in the basement, main floor, which my daughter liked to go to. And this is a doctor's office that used to be a coffee shop when it was first built. It didn't last that long. Good timing on this one for once. Downtown is up that way. The university's down that way. These are pretty new over here too. Well, 20 years probably, but they feel new. Of course, I kind of came this way just a few days ago because here we are on Ray again, where E.T., who was with me earlier, I don't know if he's still there or not, lived just down there. Once upon a time. There's Central Park again. I didn't really walk through it the other day, so maybe I will just go through this end of it. Go by the flowers and the monument to professional women's baseball player. So, of course, we had a condo over there, and I always like to say I had a condo right off of Central Park. You don't have to tell people what city. Oh, you are still there, E.T.? So this little bit of garden is looking very nice. I can smell it too. And again, here's the Mary Baker. Here's the actual monument, although these plants have almost grown up to cover the inscription there. Cross over to the other side again. Oof! Watch that step. There's Scar Street, looking toward downtown. Over here we have the Prince Charles, but I don't believe he's ever stayed here. It's his place, but I don't think he's ever slept there. He would sleep at Hotel Saskatchewan, which is right up there, in the Royal Suite. Which I have been in for a few functions over the years. Never stayed there. Stayed in the Vice Regal Suite, which is up in Bessborough Hotel when my wife was president of the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. When they had their annual meetings in those hotels, the president would stay in the Royal Suite here, Vice Regal Suite there. Unfortunately, the year she was president, he was in Saskatoon, so I didn't get to stay in the Royal Suite. It was nice. I am very thirsty. Partly is that I mowed the grass before I went out, and I've just been realizing for the last 20 minutes that I didn't drink anything after doing that. And in fact, I haven't really drunk anything for quite some time, so yeah, getting a little on the thirsty side. But it's not too much further. Probably 10 minutes from here, 15 at the outside. That's a very old house over there. It has a sign on it that says there's a doctor there, but that sign's been there for a long time. I suspect the doctor is long gone. Williamson. They didn't have to stop for me, but they did. And I can smell up here the Fireside Bistro. Their fountain's not going, that's too bad. It's always nice to walk by a fountain. I don't like the awning on that, but otherwise it's okay. There's the Fireside Bistro. It was a house at one point. It's been a restaurant for a long time now. What's that? Well, yes there is, but I'll just go home. Kind of silly to stop for a drink a block from home. Yes, there's our closest bar is it's gone out of my head. Leopold's. Leopold's. But I don't like it very much. It's small and noisy. It used to be a succession of nice restaurants in there, but none of them ever made a go of it. And then the Leopold's took it, and it's not only been so successful, there's another Leopold's, and one in Calgary, I think, and they kind of expanded. But I think this was the original one. I talked to the guy who started it once. They wanted to create a place that's the kind of bar they like to go to, which is fine, but it's not actually the kind of bar I like to go to, so very much. I always think of them in terms of, can I sit there and write? And that was just too small and too noisy. Didn't have very interesting beer either. Just didn't used to. I've been in for a long time. It's right over there, just the other side of the street. Second little building to the left there, Leopold's. Not too long a wait. It's counting down here. 6, 5, 4. Here's where we buy gas. I'll cut through the gas station, which I normally do. Which will actually take us very close to Leopold's. This is Specs here. It's a high-end eyewear store. There's Leopold's patio on the other side of that fence. You can probably hear the music. It's a scenic Regina parking lot. You know, you don't see those on every walking tour. Or you do, but you seldom get running commentary about them. Christian Science building up there. Or is it Unitarian? Well, that's the Unitarians. Never mind. Maybe it used to be Christian Science. Everything in my book I knew at one point, but you know, it doesn't stick if you don't review it. I'm going to go down the alley instead of around the crescent because I have to take the garbage out when I get home, so. Right, Unitarian. I think it was originally built as a Christian Scientist building, if I recall. It's a nice little sort of Greek, I guess, revival front there. 1928, 1 year before our house. No, 2 years after our house. Our house was built in 26. Although it wasn't until 1939 that my grandparents-in-law bought it. There's Devon School, now called the Crescent School, but it will always be Devon to me. go down the alley. We're lucky we have a paved alley because I think it's mainly because school buses use this. Well, it's slightly more secure because it's open and lit. We have a light right over our garage door, basically, which isn't bad. There's the school where my daughter went from kindergarten through grade 8. Can't see a thing if you're making any comments here. It's completely invisible in this light. Can't see the screen, can't tell what I'm pointing at. Ready to be done though, because I am thirsty. So I'll just stop right here with a view of the school. So thanks for walking with me. Still can't see the screen, so I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments. But I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's my day to just kind of walk along the creek. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. So bye for now.